Let's assume this is you. For my male followers, I drew a mustache, which in my native language Punjabi we call a much. For my female followers, I drew a braid, which in my native language Punjabi we call a gut. Let's assume that you are 25 years old right now. I know, super young. But let's go back in time, you're 25 years old. You started learning about this financial education stuff early. So between the ages of 25 to 35, you invested just $200 a month. And then at the age of 35, you stopped investing money. You never invested another dollar again. Versus over here, you have my bro cousin Bunty. Now in this situation, my bro cousin Bunty is kind of smart because now at the age of 35, he realized that, oh, I should have started investing before. So he didn't invest at 25 or 30. He started investing at 35 years old, which in the grand scheme of things is better than not investing at all, but it would have been better if he started at 25. So now what he does is he starts investing $200 a month, and he does this from the age of 35 through 65. So you invested for 10 years, 25 to 35, $200 a month. Bunty invests for 30 years, 35 to 65. That means cousin Bunty invested $72,000. You invested $24,000. If we assume that both of you get a 10% average annual return on your money, which is the average historical stock market return, let's take a look at the returns. Bunty's $72,000 invested from 35 to 65 has now grown to a little bit over $450,000. Not bad. But your $24,000 that you invested between the ages of 25 and 35, and you never invested again after the age of 35, but your money continued to compound and grow at the 10% a year, well, now your money grew to a little bit over $1.1 million. You have more than 2 times what cousin Bunty got just because you started earlier. This is why it's so important to always have money to invest. And you would say, well, Jaspreet, oh my God, what do I do? I'm 35, I'm 45, I'm 55, I haven't started investing yet. Well, this is where now you have to be more aggressive, you have to be more systemized, and you gotta get that money to work. So let's talk about how do you actually systemize that money. A simple rule of thumb that you can follow is something like 75, 15, 10, which says for every dollar that you earn from here on out, 75 cents is the maximum that you can spend. 15 cents is the minimum that you invest. 10 cents is the minimum that you save. Now this money that you're saving, again, you're starting out just to get this extra emergency savings money there to protect you against an emergency. Okay, so this money is going into a different bank account, just waiting, hopefully never be used, but it's sitting there just in case you need it. This money, your investment money, the 15% of every dollar you earn is going to be what you use to make yourself wealthy. You can invest the money into stocks, you can invest this money into real estate, you can invest this money into bonds, you can invest this money into startups, you can invest this money into learning, you can invest this money into paying down debt. There's a lot of ways to invest that money. I'll talk more about that in just a minute. But the whole idea is this money that you invest is what's going to make you wealthy. You want to put this money into a separate bank account, into a separate brokerage account, into someplace else so you don't accidentally spend this money, and now you're only living off of 75 cents of every dollar that you earn, which is going to be hard, which takes sacrifice. But if you live like this, then you're going to have the opportunity to build more wealth, to start building that generational wealth, and the more you invest, the wealthier that you can become. And this is why, you might have heard me talk about this before, I have my team at Briefs Media publish a free daily newsletter called Market Briefs, which breaks down what's happening in the financial markets so you can be a smarter investor. It's completely free. We break down what's happening in things like the economy, housing, stocks, crypto, and the global economy into fun and witty and easy to read newsletter. It's read by hundreds of thousands of investors every single morning. So if you have not joined Market Briefs yet, I have the link for you to join down in the description below. Step number 4 now is earn more money. You might be saying, Jaspreet, how in the world am I supposed to live off of just 75 cents of every dollar that I earn? I'm already struggling to survive living off of every dollar that I earn. Well, the first thing I want you to understand is if the government were to raise your taxes tomorrow, what are you gonna do? Cry, complain, scream, kick? Well, eventually you're gonna have to figure it out because the government's gonna take that money before you even see that money. And if you don't pay it, you're gonna go to jail. This is that same thing. You are taxing yourself, but now instead of making the government richer, you're making yourself richer. That's why I want you to automate this, create 3 different bank accounts, that way anytime you get paid, money is automatically put into the different accounts. But now, I don't want you to deprive yourself of every nice thing in the world. I want you to be able to buy the nice things, but I also want you to invest more as you earn more. So now take a look at this. Let's assume now, hypothetically, let's have some fun, that you doubled your salary tomorrow. You started making more money. Well, when most people make more money, what do? They spend more money. We talked about this already. People make more money, they drive nicer cars, they buy better watches, they go and live in better homes. This is where what I want you to do is continue following this flow. The nice thing about 75-15-10 is that you make more money, you have more money to spend, but you're also investing more money, you're also saving more money. Whether you're making $30,000 a year, $300,000 a year, or $30 million a year, you always got money to put aside for saving, investments, and spending. So how do you actually go out and earn more money? That way you have more money to spend and save and invest. Well, let's talk about 3 options. Number 1, you can invest in your skills. Number 2, you can work to become a freelancer. Number 3, you can work to start a side hustle or a business. Now, starting with your skills. This means you're taking your money and you're gonna invest it to improve some sort of skill set, some monetizable skill set. There are certifications that you get online for a few $100 to a few $1,000s that can help you get a specific career. There are specific classes that you can take to help you be better at a specific skill that's monetizable. The key is this skill monetizable? This is not going out and taking a class on European dance. You're not gonna make any money doing that, okay? A real monetizable skill. This might be sales. This might be sales copywriting online. This might be advertising, more specifically YouTube advertising, Google advertising, Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, because if you can get really good at that and you can help a company scale their advertising from, let's say, $3,000 a month to $30,000 a month, well, now you can get a piece of those profits as well. If you can learn video editing, you have a skill that you can sell because a lot of people are trying to go digital now. If you can learn SEO, more specifically SEO to actually build a company's presence, to drive more leads, to drive more sales, well, now you have a monetizable skill. These are skills that you can learn, pay to test, and then you can go out and sell these skills to a business and charge a lot more money to do that. Number 2, this is freelancing. There are a lot of places you can go out and do this, right? Uber, you can use Grubhub, you can do a lot of those, or you can even do digital freelancing, which is selling your services. Let's say you are good at digital design, you're good at graphic design. There are platforms on the internet, like Upwork or Fiverr. You can sell some of those skills to a business in exchange for some money, and as you start to grow, well, then you can start to raise your prices as well. If you're a good writer, you're a good video editor, you're good at being very organized, you can be a virtual assistant. These are all things that you can do to freelance as a way to add some more dollars into your pocket. You don't gotta work on a specific schedule. You can work in your own time, set your own prices, and start to get paid to do that. There's a lot of platforms on the internet that can help you with this. Then a side hustle is taking it one step further. Now, in general, this is kind of like starting a business. I don't really like calling it a side hustle because at the end of the day, if you're starting a side hustle, you're starting a business. But the whole idea here is you're creating something as a way to make some extra cash, which could potentially become a business in and of itself. And this can be really anything. I mean, if you're good at washing cars, you can start a car detailing side hustle or business. You're good at cleaning, help landlords clean up their rental properties after a tenant moves out. You're good at painting, start a painting business. You're strong, start a moving business, help people move from one house to the other. You're good at creating videos, help realtors create videos to sell their properties. Find a direct use case for the skill that you have to build their business. Don't just create some ambiguous product like, oh, I'm gonna go and take photos. For who? Just general? No one's gonna pay you for that. People don't care about a photographer, they do care about a wedding photographer. They do care about a business product photographer if you're helping e-commerce companies sell their products better. But a general photographer, you're not gonna make any money. If you enjoyed this clip and you wanna continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who wanna stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.